Hello, everyone's. I am here for Real Housewives of Atlanta, Season 12, Episode 4. If you're new to my channel, welcome. If you're returning, you a family member, you one of my peoples, welcome back. Now, y'all, last week they made this whole dramatics as Nene was getting on the floor with Cynthia and Eva and Noelle. Then you know how she walked up the stairs, they had to put the slow motion on her, and then, it faded to black and white, and then it went off like it was like a dun 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 dun, like what the dramatics is gonna happen. And then we come to this week, and Nene gets on the floor, and she says hi to everybody, this on the Bravo float, waving at everybody, She says, Cynthia says, you look nice, and she says, thank you. I was like, Cynthia, you did not catch that she didn't say you look good back. She said, thank you, and kept on moving. And then Robert was like, and we're going to make sure for the people who didn't catch it, we're going to roll that beautiful bean footage and show that Nene said, you look nice. And Nene said, oh, thank you, and kept on moving. In your mind, somehow you thought that Nene was going to give you some type of congratulations or you look good too, boo. Like, no, Nene didn't give you none of those things. I was like, oh, Cynthia. And then we see Marlo, and Marlo, her title now is Nene's friend. And when Nene wasn't on the show, she was Candy's friend. Now that she done got, bumped over to being Nene's friend, back to being Nene's friend. I'm like, I'm gonna need y'all to like get her title right. Like, is she Candy's friend? Is she Nene's friend? Is she Candy and Nene's friend? How come it just can't be Marlo? We know who Marlo is right now. Marlo done been on here many of seasons. We know who she is and whose friend she is. Anyway, Dr. Portia going over there. Portia goes over there to see Dr. Sherry. And Dr. Sherry just played her whole relationship right in front of her. Somehow, without her knowing, it's like, well, you, what she say, this was a fast-paced relationship. Like, do you think he earned your trust, or do you think you gave it to him? And as messy as, Candy and the Candy Coated clique was last season, they was letting Portia know, like, Dennis been having other girlfriends. This is what Dennis do. Dennis gets with a girl. He gets her hot dogs. He gets her Rolexes. This is his MO. And at the time, they was being messy and they was being shady, but at the same time, they was also telling her the truth. Like, you don't really know this man. She's crying because she can't understand how he would cheat on her while she was, pregnant with a child. But I was like, did you really know this man for real, before you jumped full on to a relationship and getting pregnant by this man? Like, did you really know that, like, beforehand? Or was this just something that Candy and her crew knew beforehand? They just didn't say nothing, and this was him? I don't know. Like, she says that you have the right to not want to be disrespected, but like, don't make no life altering decisions while you're angry. Like, sit a while, rest your mind. You just don't jump into breaking up just yet, if because you all in your emotions. Now, Candy goes over there to see, I believe it was Candy before now. Anyways, like, Mark seems to have been questioning. This is what I got from the whole conversation. Mark had been questioning Kenya and her smothering skills, like, since Brooklyn was born. Like, she swallowed a baby, he come and swallowed a baby. She put the baby in the crib, he take the baby out. I was like, and like, yeah, it was Candy. Candy was like even side-eyeing Mark, like the way he was treating Kenya and the way he was reacting towards Kenya. But she didn't really say nothing like that for real. But she did say that Kenya seemed to be submissive. And I was like, yeah, that is true. I think it is the thing with Kenya and men is she didn't get that love from her mom, because mom basically chucked her to dudes and was be at family functions and completely ignore Kenya, which had to have been painful. By somebody who had contact with their mama, was what I'm saying. But Kenya, I thought her relationship would be better with her dad. Like, with her dad, seeing as how the mom gave her up. But like, he seemed like he had his ways too, kind of situation. But yeah, Kenya speaks on wanting a nanny, but at the same time, she don't want a stranger taking care of her baby, which I was trying to figure this out, because Kenya, she is a helicopter mom. So I don't know how like a nanny is gonna work out in her situation, because she was freaking out when her cousin was trying to take Brooklyn out of the high chair. Like, no, you gotta take that little tray off first and then scoop her out. Like, maybe like when she has more kids, she won't be like y'all be seeing those diaper commercials, like the mom is so strict for the first baby, like you gotta have this whole big old 19-gallon pump of y'all know, some hand sanitizer and what you can and cannot do. Like, do you have your degree and all this stuff? This is when you had one baby, when you was trying to figure all these things out. Then the second baby is like, look here, here's my baby over here, you gonna be fine. Like, that seems like kind of situation it is. So Eva and Cynthia, they out at lunch, and Cynthia lets her know that Marlo will be showing up, and she was like, I ain't got time for this. I ain't got, because Marlo spent last season telling Eva's business and adding a little into it, like Eva's broke, Eva's been doing this, and then telling any and everybody who would sit down and listen. So she's like, I'm not here for this. So she grabs her, she ordered $179 worth of food. And she said, I will take this downstairs at the bar. I would not sit here and entertain this foolishness that, before Marlo, but have the foolishness of this, since all of these people be having some foolishness, I guess. I don't know. And she was like, take me to the bar. Like, then Marlo, she sits down and she gets to talking about Eva's finances and who Eva's sleeping with. I'm like, Marlo, why are you so concerned about how much money Eva has and who she has slept with or hasn't slept with? What business is yours? I sure don't care. Like, Eva's getting a check from Real Housewives of Atlanta, and she was getting that check from Dish Nations, and she does modeling on the side. She has money coming in. And she has a husband. Marlo, we don't know what you do. We don't know what W-2s you turn in at the end of the year. Or at the beginning of the year. We don't know these things. We just know that you have a house and you be dressing in all the fashions. But what do you do? I guess, people be looking at somebody else before they realize to look at somebody else. Because Marlo was out here doing somebody else, I guess. I don't know. Okay, anyway. I'm sorry. Nene and Marlo sit down and they discuss the situation between Nene and Cynthia, and Nene gets to go out in this whole full-on crying over her relationship. And I'm like, Nene, we know what it is when somebody is crying for real, because they will get a tissue and they will dab their eyes. They will not cover their whole entire face because they can't get no tears out. We know that is a fake cry. Get tissues, yes, dabbing at your eye, real cry. You over here just doing it too much. Anyways, she says Cynthia's trying to get everyone on her side to have a mean and a mad Nene side, I guess. And Marlo's like, really? Did you think you played any part of this foolishness that you and Cynthia got going on? Y'all both going on radio interviews and doing all this, and Nene gets mad and storms off and gets in a rickshaw and just rolls off into the sunset. I was like, you rolled off into the sunset because you know you wrong. You know you played a big part of this. You and Cynthia were cool. Had these friendship conversations. I forgot why y'all got mad at each other before, but then y'all became cool again. And you got mad at her because Kenya was invited to her party. So now y'all mad all over again. Y'all getting on radios and acting a fool towards each other. I'm like, really, child? Where am I at? Oh, Candy and Todd, they take Ace to see the baby's ultrasound, and Ace, he's just as cute as he ever want to be. He is so ready for his little sister to get here. He said he gonna be hugging her. He gonna be holding her. He gonna help change all the diapers. He's gonna be doing all of those things. And Dr. Jackie lets them know, once the baby is born, either Katie or Todd will cut the umbilical cord and they will hand the baby off to you guys, and you'll go to a separate room where you can have skin-to-skin contact with the baby. Basically, once the baby is out, all your dealings with Shadia will be done with. And me and Katie was like, really? You had my baby, which was my baby, but you was out here carrying my baby, and I'm just supposed to check you the deuce and go on with my baby. I was like, yeah, like I was like, I was kind of weird. Like, we just, we not gonna talk no more. Is that how it goes? Like, once the baby's out, we have no more communication. Portia, she had a good first day back at work. She was able to take PJ with her, and PJ was on air for a little bit, and everybody was like, no, PJ, she can stay in here with everybody. She can coo and all that stuff. Baby noises all on the radio. So, she didn't got to back explain to it. She's like, yes, I'm well and I'm refreshed. I just need to find me a nanny who can go between my house and Dennis's house. Somebody that is reliable. But because she tried nannies out before and, like, they didn't work. The nanny was more focused on Portia's life than she was on taking care of the baby. But she don't need that in her life. Now, Kenya, she was out here saying, well, what you would think of her anniversary, which was 2 years, but she talking about something. Mark didn't even want to do that. Like, she spent her anniversaries in Turkey and Caicos with Brooklyn. Yeah. I was like, they had an issue where we was going to take the nanny or not. And he was just like, I'm not going. And she went by herself. She was saying how this is what I got. That they haven't really been intimate with each other since she was like 7 months pregnant, because he was weirded out by her belly. And, like, he's a great dad, but he shows no affection towards her. And Candy was like, well, the way you talking is like he done called you out your name. And she was like, yeah, he done said some things. But he admits that, he'll be out here, I guess, cussing you out, fighting, before he's actually cussing you out fighting. I don't know. But, he said he admits he was a fighter and he likes to fight. And I'm like, child, I felt sorry for Kenya, because Kenya, she is always wanting a man that's going to love her, and she's always wanted a baby. And she has a baby, but, like, the man, her husband, is just, the way he treats her is just sad. Like, it really is. And I'm not the biggest Kenya's fan, but I wouldn't want that on her, to be treated like that. And she's like, she knew what it's like growing up, the way her mom treated her, and she is not going to sit back and let this, happen before her daughter. So, yeah. That was the gist. If I left anything out, by all means, leave a comment below. If you're new to my channel, well, welcome. Feel free to subscribe. It is free all day, every day, free 99. Make sure your notifications are on, so when my beautiful face puts up a video, you can click on it, you can like it, you can share it with your people, you can come over and be one of my peoples. If you're returning, you a family member, you one of my peoples, well, welcome back. Y'all know what to do. Tell your people to tell their people to come over and be one of my peoples. And this is Lady T signing off. Have a good one.